all the time. So I'm so sorry. I sound like a mouse because I lost my voice. Okay. So we're just gonna start with opening prayer. So if I could have you guys remove any hats or caps, and then center yourselves and remember that we're in the presence of God. And then Andrea is gonna lead us in prayer.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our good and gracious Father, we gather today in your presence to learn more about how to live lives more pleasing to you, because we live only to serve you and do your will. We thank you for allowing us to celebrate your most pure and most humble birth, which has allowed us to look forward to salvation. We thank you for your countless blessings, Lord, for the blessings of family, friends, love, security, health, and happiness in you. And lastly, Lord, we thank you for these candidates, leaders, and parents who have given up their Sunday only to be closer to you. We pray that you continue to watch over them, guide them, and bless them in today and all the days to come. We pray this in your most blessed name. Amen.
So how was everyone's Christmas and New Year's? Good. Did you guys eat a lot? Did anyone else get sick? Okay, cool. Not alone. So we're gonna start off with an icebreaker. So leaders, you have a sheet of paper. You have several sheets of paper. So if you could pass out the sheets of blank paper, and then candidates, if you could fold them in half when you get them. And then leaders also pass out pens. Okay, is everyone's paper folded in half? Yeah, and everyone has a pen? Okay, so this is more like a to yourself activity. So your answers don't have to match the person's next to you. There are no right or wrong answers. But choose one of the sides, and then you're going to write, they're not going to be on here, but write 3 of the wealthiest people in the world. Off the top of your head, 3 of the wealthiest people in the world. So after you write 3 of the wealthiest people in the world, go ahead and name 3 iconic celebrities. Just any that come to the top of your head. 3 iconic celebrities. Okay, next, you're gonna write 3 teams. I have on here 3 teams that have won the Super Bowl, but you can do 3 teams that have won anything, so like the NBA championships, or like the tournament, or field hockey, or the Olympics. 3 athletic winners of any kind. On the same slide, you're going to write 3 of the most powerful or influential people ever. So I'm talking like Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Obama, I don't know, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates. And then last thing on this slide, you're going to write 3 well-known musical artists. 3 famous musical artists, or groups, or bands. Are we good? Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to have you flip over your paper to the other side, the blank side. Can you raise your hand if there's room in your group? And then on the other side, you're also going to have 15 answers, so leave room. So the first one is, name 3 teachers that have had the most positive impact on you. 3 teachers that you've ever had that have had the most positive impact on you. Okay, so after the 3 teachers that have had the most positive impact on you, you're going to write 3 of your best friends, 3 invaluable friends that you would not trade for anything else in the world that have helped you. Okay, and then after those 3 friends, you're going to write the names of 3 people that you truly care about. I'm talking about people you would sacrifice your life for. 3 people that you love wholeheartedly, that you would sacrifice yourself for. Okay, so you should have 3 teachers, 3 friends, and then 3 people that you would sacrifice yourself for. And then you're going to write the names of 3 people who have helped you experience genuine happiness. So pure bliss, genuine happiness. Who has helped you feel pure happiness before? And then when you're ready, the very last thing that you're going to write are the names of 3 heroes who have inspired you. All right, God is good all the time. So on the first side, the one with the wealthiest people in the world, 3 iconic celebrities, 3 athletic teams, 3 of the most powerful or influential people ever, and 3 musical artists. You have people of fame, right? You have people of fame, money, public accomplishments. And these people might mean something to you personally. They might have had a personal impact on your life, or they may not. Right? These could just be celebrities that you admire, that you see, or that you've heard of. And then on the other side, the second side, you have people who matter specifically to you. So, for example, if Camille wrote her mom as one of the heroes who have inspired her, that's great. I've met Camille's mom. I love Camille's mom. She's super sweet. But that might not be the same for me. I wouldn't necessarily consider Camille's mom my hero, because I don't know her in the same way that Camille knows her mom. So the people on the second side mean something to you. And though they may not mean the same to the people in your group, they matter to you. And that's not to say that your heroes are of any less importance than the people around you, right? Because they have a significant impact for you. And so we're going to be discussing morality today. And while there are some answers today, we're going to do a lot of discussing today. So while there are some answers that might seem 100% right or 100% wrong to you, others might see it differently. And this is a safe environment, right? So we just ask that even if you wholeheartedly don't agree, or if you do agree with someone else's views or opinions, we ask that you respect it. Because we respect each other in this room, amen? We respect each other, and this is a safe environment. So we ask that you keep this in mind when you're listening to other people's views and thoughts and opinions and beliefs. So just because someone else's answer is not important or true to you, it doesn't mean that it's not important to someone else. So we're going to keep it respectful today. So, introduction to morality. So this is basically all we're talking about today. So morality deals with the concept of free will. So free will is one of God's many Free will is one of God's many gifts to us. And so God is omnipotent, which means that he is all-powerful. Omnipotent means all-powerful. So if God really wanted to, God could control our every thought, our every word, our every action. But he allows us to live freely. He gave us the choice and the gift of free will. He allows us to make our own choices. He allows us to have our own thoughts. He allows us to say our own words, even if it means hurting him. But to help us guide us, in case we wanted, God gave us a conscience. And we talked about conscience before with Jiminy Cricket and the Emperor's New Groove. And our conscience tells us what's right from wrong. And so the church actually teaches, Catholic Church actually teaches, that when we are in a dilemma or a situation where we don't know what to do, where it's not very clear what the right and the wrong answer is, we must turn to our conscience. And we pray to God for guidance, and we turn to our conscience to tell us what is right and what's wrong. That's when people say, trust your gut. So the church teaches us that when it's not clear what's right or wrong, you trust your gut on what's right or what's wrong. But how does our conscience know what's right and what's wrong? So we must inform and shape our conscience. So we have to, if we're constantly making bad decisions, if we're constantly making poor decisions and influencing our conscience with bad decisions, bad choices, then we're constantly ignoring our conscience until it gets quieter and quieter. That little voice in your head, you're shoving it in a corner until it gets quieter and quieter, and you're not listening to your gut that's telling you, hey, this is a bad idea. And so we're going to transition to this next part of the session with a video. So if you want to take your papers and pens, and you can just put it under your seats. Disclaimer, this is not the cleanest of videos. The main person in this video is from New York, so his language is a little more crude than usual. But I'm going to trust that we can all be mature, right? And we can all listen to them talking and saying words that we wouldn't necessarily say on the regular with maturity. Okay. So the law told the biker that he must stay in the bike lane at all times, no exceptions, right? Or else you get a fine. And he got a $50 fine. So the biker who made this video shows what happens if he follows and obeys the laws, and shows what happens when he follows and obeys the law. And what happens when he strictly obeys the law and only the law? He runs into things, and he destroys things, and he gets hurt, and he puts other people around him at the risk of getting hurt themselves. So by swerving around these dangerous obstacles, these potholes, these trucks, these taxis that are parked in the bike lane, the biker was using common sense. And he still got in trouble. He got fined. He got a ticket. And so this concept applies to us too. And more specifically, it applies to our session topic, which is morality. So think of ourselves as the biker. Take a minute, just think of yourself as the biker in New York, running into things. We are the biker. And then imagine society and the media and the people that we surround ourselves with. Imagine them as the laws that are telling us what we should do and how we should live. So if we constantly strictly obey the law, if we constantly strictly obey the people around us, society, and what the media is telling us, without any common sense, or without listening to our conscience, then sometimes, not always, but sometimes, we can put ourselves and those around us at risk of being in danger. But if we use our common sense, which is also if we use our conscience, which is built up by listening to our conscience and praying to God for guidance in tough situations, then we can lead better lives, and we can avoid running into taxis, we can avoid running into potholes, we can avoid putting ourselves in these bad situations. And this is where morality comes into play, because with morality, things aren't always black and white. Things aren't always right and wrong. There's not always going to be 100% right or wrong answer, and it's not always going to be clear to you which one is right and which is wrong. So God will call us to do something that strays from what society's laws tell us to do, like swerve around the car that's parked in the bike lane, because it's for our own good, and because God wants to save us. He looks out for us in that way. So I'm going to have you guys just break off into your small groups just for like 3 minutes, and quickly just go around and say your takeaways from the video or from what I just said about morality or anything regarding that topic. Okay, so we're going to go on to our next part of the session, and this is called Deal or No Deal. And it's going to require, don't get up yet, but it's going to require us moving around. So we're going to be reading some scenarios, some situations, and you're going to have to decide whether you take it, deal, or you choose no deal. And there's no in between. You have to choose deal or no deal. So if you do deal, you'll have to stand on one side of the room, and if you do no deal, you'll have to stand on the other side of the room. Stay with me. God is good all the time. And so while we're doing this activity, we're going to give you time to talk to the people around you to see why you guys chose that side. But we're also going to share in large group why you chose that side. So you're going to have some leaders who might ask you to share your opinion in the mic. And And if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to give a super detailed explanation like, I chose this because a long time ago when I was a child, this happened to me and blah, 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 and it's haunted me ever since to this day. You don't have to go into detail. But we ask that you do respect the leader who is asking you the question and just give like a valid answer, not just a yes or no answer, but a comprehensive answer. And then for the rest of us, I ask that you listen to them, that you don't have side chatter going on, that you listen to whoever's speaking, and again, that we respect other people's opinions. Amen? Cool. And this is just to show, this activity is just to show, to emphasize, again, that morality is never black and white. It's never right or wrong. That there are a ton of different factors that can play, that come into play. So, we're going to stand. And for the first situation, I'm going to say, I have ice cream. Stand on this side if you like vanilla, stand on this side if you have chocolate. And then the leaders that came volunteered to come on. Vanilla, chocolate, which choose one. You have to choose one. Okay, so that's how this is going to work. One of the leaders is going to read a situation, a scenario, and then you get to decide if you do deal or no deal. So here is the first scenario.
Your friend has illegal drugs with them at school. There are periodic locker checks. Some of them are targeted and some of them are just random. Your friend knows their lockers tagged for inspection, as they have been in trouble with the law before, and another incident will send them to juvie for sure. They ask you to hide the drugs in your locker. You agree. Your locker happens to be the chosen as part of the random check, and the authorities find the drugs in your locker.
Alright, so deal is you cover for your friend and take responsibility for the drugs to this side, or no deal is you expose your friend and tell the authorities they want your drugs. Alright, we're going to start on the smaller side, we're going to start on deal. And does anyone volunteer to say why they chose to, cover for their friend? Why did you choose to cover for your friend? Snitch on a friend. Valid answer. Anyone else have another answer? So we got reasons, no snitching, maybe a ride or die. How about on this side? Does anyone have a reason of why they're going to expose their friend and not take responsibility?
I don't want to go to jail.
Anyone else?
I have a Mexican mom and she's gonna yell at me.
Okay, let's change up the scenario a little bit. So now, it's not your friend who had the drugs, but your sibling or cousin. You can change your answer if you want. Alright, God is good. All the time. So, some people change their answers. Can you raise your hand if you changed your answer? Alright. So why'd you change your answer? His family doesn't come and go. That's a good answer. One more question on this scenario. So what if we change the drugs to a gun? So going back to the original question, would you cover for your friend and take responsibility for the gun, or would you say it wasn't yours? So deal is you'd cover and say it's your gun. No deal is you'd say it was your friend's gun. So now we're going to move on to the next scenario. You are an eyewitness for a crime. A man has robbed a bank, but instead of keeping the money for himself, he donates it to an orphanage that can now afford to feed, clothe, and care for the children in it. If you go to the authorities with your information, there's a good chance the money will be taken back from the orphanage. So do you deal, turn in the robber, or no deal, say nothing?
So why wouldn't you guys say anything? Like, why wouldn't you guys turn in the robber? So she said because they need the money and the clothes. But what if the man robbed your money, your bank? Wait. What if the man robbed your bank and it was your money that was stolen? God is good. All the time? Okay. An airplane crashes in the Hudson during winter. You are on the plane seated next to the woman and her 4-year-old child. As the plane sinks, the woman's last request is for you to save her child. The rescuers approach you. The raft can only support and save one more person, you or the 4-year-old child. Deal, you save the 4-year-old child. No deals, you save yourself. Your best friend's family comes to your house to hide because they heard there is an ice raid happening and they are coming in this country illegally. They are hiding when the raid officers arrive at your house. Your family has had some issues with the law before, so if they catch you hiding your friend's family, not only will your friends be detained or deported, but you're putting your family at risk too. Deal, you claim you're not hiding anyone and let them raid your house at risk of finding your friend's family. No deal, you turn in your friend's family to avoid getting your own family in trouble.
A man appears at your door. He knows that a member of your family is in need of cancer treatment that will cost $700,000, and the insurance is unwilling to approve the procedures. He tells you that you can push a blue button and receive $750,000, but someone will get hurt. So
Just someone will get
just
hurt.
someone in the world is going to get hurt. So deal is you push the button, no deal is you don't push the button.
Okay, cool. So we need you guys to go back to your groups, and when you go back to your groups, I need 2 volunteers from each group to line up on that side facing us, and Elgin will go on that side to show you where to line up. This next half of session is all community builders and games. So when you get your fruit by the foot, you're going to unwrap it, and you're going to separate the wax paper from the candy part. Fix that. And then you are going to take the folded over part and put it into your mouth. Fold it up, and that goes into your mouth. And without using momentum or your hands, only using your mouth, you must finish and swallow the entire fruit roll up as fast as you can. Wait, Mateo, I didn't say go. Okay. On your mark, get set, go. Watch Brian use that fast. And you must chew and finish it. So Brian will win. So that's what your team members are going to do. Can we get a round of applause for our leaders? marshmallows, you have dry spaghetti noodles, and on the back of one of the chairs in your group, you have 2 pieces of long tape. These are the only 3 materials you can use for this icebreaker, amen? So, your goal is to, as a team, build the tallest structure you can in 15 minutes with one of the big marshmallows on the top. And then the catch is, by the end of that 15 minutes, your structure must still be standing by the time we come around to judge the tallest one. So if yours falls over, it's disqualified. Or you could start building it up again if time is still going. Yeah? No leaning on chairs. It must be standing on its own with just the 3 materials. Yeah? And questions? Your 15 minutes starts now.
We're gonna need more noodles. I have the paper for the sponsor.
Alright, so this is going to be the tic-tac-toe relays. The way it's going to work, whoever's in the front is going to run down. Oh wait, everyone's going to have their own bean bag. So small group leaders for each group, if you could grab a certain color. So the first person in each group is going to run down, drop off their marker, run back, tag the next person, and then they're going to put the next one as well. So the first one to get tic-tac-toe, just scream so that we know that you guys won. Leaders, keep an eye on each other's game so that we know who's winning. Ready, set, go! If you lost, you move to the next station. So you just shift over one side. If you're at the very end, you go to the front. Let's run it again. Ready, set, go! There you go.
A couple of announcements before we let you guys go. One is state essays were due last session, December 15th. So majority of you turned it in, which is great. Some of you turned it in on Google Docs and it won't let us open it because it's not shared with us. So check your emails to make sure I didn't email you back asking you to share it with us. And then for those of you who have not turned in your state essays yet, because there are a few, it is now 3 weeks late, which means you have to do 3 additional service hours. So if you have not turned in your state essay yet and you're turning it in today, that's a total of 18 service hours you have to finish. Amen? Okay, second announcement is our next session is actually next Sunday. So we see you guys back here for next Sunday. For parents, if they did not come to today's session, it is mandatory for your parents to come next session. But if your parents came today, you don't have to come next Sunday. So if your parents came today, do they have to come next Sunday? No. Thank you. And then, with that, are we good? We're good? Thank you guys for coming.